Alright, hello? Alright, there we go. Okay, well, now we are here, and we already did an intro, but, we're back, me and Jimmy are now here. Yes, alright, great, fantastic. We're 3 minutes into qualifying, Busy's on his first run. I did take you through a lap, but that didn't work out very well. Thank you, Ben, for letting me know. As he comes into the final corner of a... As he comes down the final corner onto the final straight, it is a 1:45.2. Personally, I don't know what the lap times will be. I've not done a China race in the wet, and I don't think... Jamie, have you?
I don't think I have yet, but it says DRS is enabled, so I don't think these drivers will have
DRS
to...
has been enabled? Oh, wow.
Yeah, DRS has been enabled.
It is still raining.
Palipador goes across the line to start a flying lap, because he's just at his out lap, and his teammate behind him...
He hasn't got DRS open, though.
He had for me. I'm going on board with somebody that has. I swear it's the DRS enabled, or just not seeing things. There's an Aston Martin on the straight, going on that long straight, so I'll see if DRS is enabled as he approaches it very soon. DRS is enabled. It says DRS now, so he's got DRS.
DRS has just been enabled for me.
Ah, I see. But Snell up into P2.
It is still.
Do you see some dry tyres?
Maybe, but it still looks to be raining quite a bit, quite heavily.
Game of it. In that last corner, a bit hesitant. Goes up into P3 with a 50.4, so yeah, made quite a few mistakes in the lap, but it's still raining just a little bit. The track will be greasy, but I don't think it's enough for the
I want to see someone go on the straight, if these do have DRS. Yeah, DRS has been enabled, but there is no... They're still inters, and it still looks going to be inters for quite a bit. That's going to help the lap times, though. That will help the lap times, especially. Busy dives into the pits.
Yeah, the spinner, and that was Leighton coming out of turn number 9, I think, out that double left-hander, so it must have got a thought a bit too early, but it says some people have gone on the soccer bar tyres.
Yeah, they just selected them in the pits. There's still a few drops on Leighton's POV right now, but it should, I'm guessing it will die down since the DRS has been enabled. Well, that'll be a fun quali. If anyone did DNF during the inter part of this qualifying, that would have been very unfortunate, because they probably could have kept it on track in the dry. But no one DNF so far. All good and all is well.
It does look like it's raining in the third sector, because I switched on board with someone in the first sector, and now I'm on board with Hacker with the third sector, and there was a few drops where he's just exited, so might be a few drops on the track, but overall it's getting drier and drier,
yeah,
so we're just waiting for those people to come on.
This crossover has been really quick. Wow, you can see how dry it is on the track now. Going to Homo sapien DK's POV, it's fully dry there.
Shiny Winey, I went on board with him, and there was a few drops, so it is still raining on the track.
Yeah, it's like Sector 2 and Sector 3 where the rain is right now. But just a few drops. Looks like the track is really dry though.
We'll see some people got the sauce. There's a Hulk is on the soft compound tyres. He was on the inters, but he didn't do a lap time, so it is Q1 still, so the top 15 go through, the bottom 4 get on tyre in this case. This is 020, and Q2, the top 10 go through, the bottom 5 get on tyre again, and Q3 top 10 shoot out. But in Q3, what tyres do you think people start on due to this track?
Well, on this track, people say soft medium will be the best strategy. I definitely want to start on softs just to get that pace in the first 5 or 6 laps to get away from medium runners. But the hards towards the end of the race, about 8 laps to the end of the race, will become better than the mediums that people go on to from the softs. I hope people take the strategy well and nicely, but I was hoping for a more of more wet qualifying, not in the first 5 minutes. Have we got a spinner I don't know who that is. It is Snell on the intermediates on the hairpin. Yeah, spun it.
Don't want to make mistakes now because it is dry, so you just want to get off those intermediates and put on a set of softs because our hug has gone purple in the first sector as it would be in the dry, taking that left-hander very nicely. This right-hander here, it takes that very nicely as well. And coming through the double left-hander has a slight lift off because the track's not fully dry yet. There's a spot of range still there in that part of the track. It takes the double left-hander nicely, leads on the curb on the outside. Now coming into this corner here, straight into the 100 metre board, because the apex on the entry and this one as well. Hit both corners very nicely. Now, short shifting to reduce the wheel spin. It's very easy to understeer off here, especially on a flying lap, and in the race as well, because of the overheated tyres on the softs potentially, and also all the tyres if you're in that dirty air, or get the sort of way too early. But it's the heaviest braking zone out of all of them. Braking at the 100 metre board, go down through the gears into second, kiss the apex on the entry, then short shift immediately, back up to third we go, and fourth. Gets on the sort of very nicely there. And now coming through the final corner, flick it in, hit the apex, lean on the curb, DRS enabled, and this should be the fastest time, which it is.
132.5. Pretty solid lap for the, well, soft banker, we'll call it for now. They're setting their first soft times. We'll see a newcomer to SBR, I think. Homo sapien DK comes around the hairpin of turn 14, 15, now into turn 16, the final corner. Hits the curb a bit and takes the spin into the wall. Gets a bit damaged, but luckily does not DNF. It is a very slight tap. I don't think anyone would DNF from that. That's very unfortunate from the turn 16. Yeah, the yellow curb is not very friendly to anyone that goes over it with just their left tyre. You need to put your whole car over it to get the maximum thing. As Busy does go fastest by about 6/10 of a 131. Can't see that actually. Is it? I can't see it.
931.
131.9, and I'm guessing he found the parts. Well, the part of the qualifying session that is now fully dry on his first laps. As Busy's actually 2 tenths quicker at the moment. I don't know how much he's up by now because that is for the sector 2. But now he heads to the hairpin of 14 and 15. So this is 2 corners for some reason, as his right hander turns into one. He wants to set his final corner nicely to get up with Busy. Misses the whole yellow curb, try to get a good exit. It's going to be a 132.1. Puts him up a bit by 4 tenths, but does not go into the P1 position.
Improves about 3/10 of his previous best lap, so his second lap was much better on that occasion. As the track will continue evolving and getting better, so drivers have better experience. As Kai is coming towards the line now.
Yes, that nice corner, final corner nicely, but it's a 132.6.
The best final corner I've seen so far from Kai in the Aston Martin. That was fantastic. Just flicked it in, carried a lot of speed.
The first medium runner come out of Q1. Looks like he wants to start Q2 on the soft, start the race on soft, so he wants to get through to Q1 on mediums, which it is definitely possible if people mess up for the bottom 4 today. 16, 17, 18, 19 will be dropped out of Q1. Will not make it to Q2 as always, as there is that a spin of a Red Bull? No, it's not a Red Bull. I thought it was dark blue. Oh, it's just someone going slow. Yeah, it is our hug going slow. So I think who's on our lap. Tiny Whitey's on our lap. One of the faster drivers, especially from last week, did show his pace but didn't get the best result. I can't remember what his result was. But 24.3 first sector. It's not purple by the mini map. It takes a nice tight line through. I don't know what corner that is actually. Wants to go on the throttle kind of early, but not enough to spin the car on the exit like that, as he invalidates after overcorrecting the car a bit and going off wide on the right hand side corner. Very, very unlucky. As Ronnie is running a slow lap. I don't know if he messed up in turn 1. who's that Norwich fan, goes 1,000th behind Arhug. The 2 Williams in a 2 and 3 position. They'll be quite pleased with that. As we watch, we'll see Raynerk. We'll see a full lap of Raynerk from turn 1. Does hit the curb quite a bit, rides it quite a lot. Wants to get on the throttle as possible, but also not spin the car. It's very, very bad traction out of there some of the time. And it's going to be a 24.2. Says a purple set to 1, but I think that is on P15, but they don't have a lap, so that could actually be purple set to 1. As Kleiner boss it, 131.3. That is 6/10 faster than Busy in P2. As Rayner now comes through turn 8 and turn 9. Just get a nice exit. Very good exit. Now you want a very tricky corner to try traction on the exit of this, because you want to go straight to that right-hander as tight as possible. Another very, very difficult traction zone, because you get this wrong, you'll be spinning into a wall if you're going fast enough. But it looks very, very clean at the moment from Rayner, as now DRS is activated, as it will come down the straight to turn 14 and 15. And if you miss this braking point, it's not very good. It hits the apex nicely. Good exit, but let's see how it takes this final corner. We've seen one spin here already. Does take it nicely, but I don't think the exit was that fast. It is going to be a P3 for Rayner, 131.793. A very, very decent lap, and that will get him into qualifying too. And we'll go to the relegation now. Dropout zone. But 5 people. Oh yeah. 6 people to not set their lap at the moment. 5 people. .1 is quality for Q1. Yeah. But we'll see the dropout zone now as essentially later needs to set a lap, Gamer needs to set a lap. So all these people in the 142s and above need to set this lap. This is the final runs for qualifying now, as Ronnie Barker, IDZ, goes P9 with a 132.1. A second off the pace. It's very, very split, as the top 2 are 0.3 and 0.1, and then third is quite a bit off the pace. And then it goes down into 32s and some 40s, which second inters probably, I believe. But the dropout zone is right there for some people. As Liam does box, he's gonna risk the mediums. Oh, go on, Jamie. Jamie.
Yeah, just looking at people's lap, we've got Hacker make his way around the final corner, but I don't think this is going to be that P14, so yeah, he needs to improve that lap time, because he is very close to the danger zone, and obviously here was Homo Sapien, Leighton and Gamer haven't set represented start times, those on the intermediates. We've got Charlie Wiley, who's about to start his flying lap, and Ham Sandwich making his way towards the end of that middle sector, so let's see what the middle sector is like. 52 points there. I actually don't know what the middle sector is supposed to be, because I hate to see everybody's lap, but qualifying at one's ended, so that went quick. But yes, where's Leighton at the moment? He's coming towards the middle sector. Gamer in that hairpin, it says he's 11 seconds up, but obviously did that time on the intermediate, so this is his last chance to try and improve and get out that bottom 5. Makes his way towards the line now. It's going to be a 30.
He's out of Q1, unless he does stay out on this set of tyres and goes for it again, which I think he is.
When he's over, he can't do that.
He can. He crossed the line just before. He's on a lap right now. Yeah.
Is he?
He crossed the line in time.
Is that a glitch for me, because that's the time his timer came up, well, the timer ended way before he
I don't know, but he's 2/10 up right now, so this is his chance. He cannot mess this up. We'll go on board.
Oh, Charlie Wiley spun out,
and he is out of qualifying.
Yeah.
And Hack is also out of qualifying. He validated his lap. Now everything turns to Gamer. If he can set this lap, he might be through to Q2 if it's fast enough. Very, very loose coming out of the exit. He is 2/10 up again. He only needs 4/10 to get into Q2. He's halfway there, but oh, he loses the car. That is a massive snap, but he saves it well. Don't know if this is going to be enough. I wonder how much he lost in his final sector. But these final 3 corners need to be absolutely perfect. Yeah, but Liam is out on the mediums, as he says in the chat. But everything's on Gamer right now. All the pressure to get into Q2. Hits the yellow curb. Massive snap on exit. I don't think it is going to be enough. It is enough! By 0.02 of a second, Ham Sandwiches, also known as Lowline on another account, is out of qualified and Gamer goes through to Q2.
Go for 2 consecutive laps didn't really help because you could see the tyres just losing grip and they were overheated as well.
That is come right down to the wire for Gamer, and he's put in the lap when it was needed, but that's Ham Sandwiches out qualified by 0.02 of a second. Liam unluckily out on the mediums. If he just got 10 faster or so, would have been through. Hack and Chiny Winey also through. Chiny Winey not being able to settle out through the whole of qualifying.
He spun on his last final lap on the exit on turn that longs down
turn 13.
Turn 13.
Yeah. But as we see the qualifying results now, there's a massive split between second and third. Not like last week. Last week was very, very close grid. But we see Toxic Jesui and Clyde Bozzi miles ahead of the rest of the field. People still in the 132s while they're closing in on the 130s. Very, very impressive from them, especially Klein on the no assists. But yeah, Ham Sandwiches, Cross Liam, Hack and Chiny Wine are out of qualifying. And these drivers will be going into Q2 now to see what tyres they will be starting the race on in the top 10 shootout. It still could rain at any given moment in time. We don't know. We haven't got any information about the weather in the race, or even Q3. But it looks to be very, very sunny in qualifying 2, so the drivers will be happy about that. What do you think about this track, Jamie?
It's it's a difficult track. I don't enjoy driving it. It's so difficult. Yeah, I just don't really enjoy it, to be honest with you. It's sometimes good to watch in terms of racing as a commentator's point of view.
Yeah,
at the same time, it's just so difficult to race because you can lose a car any given moment, and the soft tyres just overheat way too much.
Yeah, the tyre wear's not very friendly.
Lose a lot of time as well. Yeah, this is one of the tracks where people, especially last year as well, when the tyre wear was bad in 2019 and this game as well. But tyre temperature has just been the main problem this season because I never experienced overheating tyres in 2020 or 2019 except the USA, where I felt it the most. But other tracks, it was just perfect and fine. I never adjusted the tyre temperature before in league racing. This is the first time I've really done it in 2020. I think it's the same with all of us as well, unless they have done it because they tried to get the perfect setup as the esports would have done. But for me, I never really had to change it.
What Leighton was doing there, so you cut the whole hairpin.
I thought you were laughing at me then.
No, I just see Leighton come out of nowhere on camera, but no, yeah, that is a great point of view of what this track is, but the tyre pressures, you need to get them perfect, otherwise, well, yeah, your tyres are going to be going to 110 degrees and you'll be spinning out everywhere.
You can't do 2 consecutive laps. Gamer did, but
his tyres must have been screaming towards the end of that lap, as we could see his snaps of oversteer. Well, he got through to Q2, as he is happy about that, obviously. So let's have a look at the tyre situation, what people will be going on at this for their banker laps in Q2. So we see Snell, Kai, Mike, Rainer, Busy and Gamer on the medium tyre and everyone else on softs on their out laps. Who will be the first to cross the line? It is Arhug, as he goes into turn 4. Now turn 5, turn 6. You want to get a nice tight line but not hit this curve. I know they fixed the curve where it bounces you off of it, but you want to get a good exit, not spin the car.
You should be disqualified. He should be disqualified because he's got a helmet on. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, you can see the game glitched again. And he's got no helmet.
Oh wow, he doesn't have a helmet.
Quite weird to see that.
You can see everything, but he exits now turn 10, now coming into turn 11. Another tricky corner, finishes the second sector on purple obviously, the first person to settle out, wants to take a tight line. Get early in the throttle, yeah, that curb you don't really want to hit. But you want to get as much traction as possible on the exit. Does get a nice exit now through turn 13. Let's see how we'll take the final 3 corners, turn 14, 15 and 16. With 16 it is a tricky corner yet again. It's just depending how you take it. If you want to hit the yellow curb, you got to go full on. If you don't want to hit it, you just don't hit it. But just get a nice apex, a nice exit out of turn 14 and 15. Doesn't go for the yellow curb cut. Looks like a pretty decent lap. It's going to be a 132.5. Still, that is 1.4 seconds slower than the fastest Q1 time. Palipeda goes 131.9 and 31s again. Still 8/10 off of the fastest time. That was very impressive from Toxic Jesby and Klein to get them times early on. Just showing what they can do.
I think Klein's had a problem. I think he's just spun out of turn 8, and also Big Boss, he had a mistake coming out of the hairpin as well, so that's why he's in the pit lane and didn't set a lap time.
I want to watch Toxic Jesby if he's on the lap right now, but Homo Sapien goes P1 131.2. What happened?
He made another mistake, the Klein Boss. He's not enjoying it. I don't know if he's actually damaged his form because he hit the wall quite hard with his right front tyre, but I'm not quite sure. He's running no set of tyres for sure, so he won't be using them again if he has to, but yeah, he's damaged his forming.
On board with Toxic Jesui, we'll get the slipstream, a bit of slipstream, and also hits the back of it again, but he wants to get a good exit. Oh yeah, the race winner of last week. Very, very good race for him. Cuts the corner way too much and invalidates. Cannot go into the pits now.
He realised.
Yeah, realise it's not there. We still see a lot of people on the mediums. I think medium tyre is the place to be.
IDZ just got up to second place with a 31.5. I actually can't see what the fastest time is, must be my eyes. Oh, 3/10 slower than Homo Sapien and P1.
Nice pun. Ben, what pun did I make? Yeah, apparently a lot of people are running wet setups.
Are
so
they?
is it gonna rain in the race?
Look at the clouds. It was bright sunny, now it's gone cloudy again.
But Homo Sapien put in the banker time right now. The time to beat is a 131.2.
Is he spun come out the final corner on those mediums? He did hit the wall like Klein Boss. Who was it who hit the wall in the first place?
Cannot go into the pits as well. Way too far.
Yeah, Antonio Giovinazzi did that in 2017. He hit the wall coming out of that final corner in the second race for Sauber.
He's a little late to cut in this corner. Cutting the hairpin every time. But Klein and Toxic Jesui and Embrick Boss are the only ones to not set a lap at the moment. Who's on a lap? Snell just on a lap on the medium tyres. We'll go through a lap on the medium tyres, see how they're doing, but he's on very, very old ones. Hits the apex nicely, but the entrance wasn't the best. I wants to get a good exit on the corner. Tight line through here. Now not into turn 5, just a flat out turn 5, now into turn 6. Wants to take a tight line. 400ths down this time. Misses the apex quite a bit. Nice exit now. Wants to take. You don't want you want to avoid this curb at all times, otherwise you will be going for a spin. Now into turn 8. Want to get a nice entrance to turn 9 and a good exit turn 10. Takes a nice, do not run wide, and it's looking alright so far. He is 800 on up on his time. Like a nice exit, hits the curb, but I think a bit too much now. A nice exit through turn 13. Hi James.
The Alpine spun on Snell's lap in front of him, so he's on the medium compound tyres as well. Is Malik in P9. He's only done a lap with a 33.1, actually 2 laps, so might have to dive back in the pit lane to ensure his safety in Q3. And Snell make his way towards the line, and it's going to be a 32.8. He's a few hundreds down, about 100th down. So will he commit to the soft compound tyres? Because we've got Klein and Boss on a set of softs, and Toxic We, who both of them invalidated their lap times on the medium compound tyres and out on the softs. So yeah, could be a bit of danger there. The guys, I'd say, from 7th below. Eric Boss goes up into P7 on the medium, so that's a good lap time, 32.7. But like I said, will he have to go on the soft compound tyres with the guys behind threatening to go on the softs?
So Homo Sapiens pretty confident that he can go through to Q3 on that soft lap time. I'd be confident as well, seeing as of a split on Q1.
It's raining.
Really big. It is starting to rain. I think that is why I retired. So everyone in the bottom 10 has to get out now, or even set a lap, so they can get through into Q2. It's all going up now with a lot of rain coming down in a few minutes. But the people on the mediums that tried to set laps in the mediums will not be happy and wish they went on the softs. But they could be. Snell, Embrick could be happy, but it has rained.
People on
the mediums. Kleiner Boss is actually, I think, done the maybe not the perfect, but he's on the final sector now. If he gets bumped by Toxic Je Suis, that's not going to be great. We want us to get the traction out at the end, not want to spin on this final corner. Oh, he loses the car. That's not an invalidation, but it's going to impede his time a lot. But does go P3. I understand why that wasn't invalidation. He was going too slow to get invalidated, but a 131.7 from Klein, it's a good lap. 4/10 off of his Q1 time, but that should definitely put him through to Q2. Q3. I'm saying Q2 a lot.
Toxic Sweeze at the first sector with a 24.8. He didn't want to slow down because he wanted to push. He wanted to push as hard as he could.
He has to set this lap and a better lap than a 132.9, or maybe even better, to stay in this qualifying session. He's going to actually take it steady now, but he wants to push as hard as possible, but you just can't. When it's raining, you're on the softs, but the softs have enough grip because they're soft tyres to get round. There's a 53.5. That feels like around, what, 3 seconds? No, was it 51? I think. I don't know. Embrick Boss is retired in P8. He will try to start on the mediums, but it's all down to Toxic Je Suis right now. If he can get through to Q3. DRS is still enabled, luckily for him. Now he comes round to turn 14. Hits the apex quite nicely, wants to get a good exit with the traction on the softs, but he's just not getting enough. There's a lot of wheel spin. He is going to be out of qualifying. It's not enough. P14 for Toxic. And he's going to be really disappointed.
He just started on that, so I don't think he was in the best position to do a flying lap, because obviously you saw the Toxic Je Suis on those softs wasn't really good, so you can see he's getting wetter and wetter, and I think the softs
very wet now.
Will not be useful anymore in these conditions.
Yeah, well, now I see him struggling with traction, wiggling his wheel all about. There's just no traction whatsoever. Yeah, a second down on his time. He can't do it.
Ah, it's a shame for him then. People did get through the mediums as well. It was Big Boss, Snell, and Kai and Yastin Martin. They got through all the medium compound tyres, so I'll be looking forward to them.
Well, yeah, they've got options with the strategy, kind of, but if there's a safety car, they won't anymore. But, well, inevitably, that is Q qualified 2 over. I hope these guys kind of retire and save our time for 2 minutes. But I think Toxic has spun out again. He has, and there it is. DRS has been disabled.
And Q2 is now over, so...
It is. We'll just watch Busy on his final moments in qualifying. Same with Mike as well. Mike, one of our championship winner last season, is also out of qualifying. He will. These bottom 5 will not be happy about this. The rain came at a really unfortunate time for them. Yeah, but Mike just 2/10 off of going into Q3. And that is just in the wall again. These soft tyres not doing him any favours, as he is. I think he missed his braking point for the pit lane. Have you seen the new Alpine, Jamie?
Yeah, blue and pink. What do you think?
I don't know how I feel about it.
What feelings you got?
I like it, and I don't like it.
Predominant. I like the
shade of the colours.
On the Alpine official F1 page, it's all covered in pink for some reason, and BWT, the sponsor brand, is in blue. I'm not quite sure. It's on the official Alpine Instagram page. If that's the actual Force India's back.
Yes.
Force India, BWT making a return. It's been the best water technology. If I don't know if it is or not.
No, it's on the official F1 Instagram page now. That's the official one. I quite like it. I know a lot of people are very fond of it, but I quite like it. Alright, but the results are in for qualifying 2 as they were about 4 or 5 minutes ago. It is Homo Sapien setting the lap time of qualifying 2 of a 1:31.2. So a lot of 2s for the past 15 minutes. But it is Mike, Rennick, Gamer, Jesui and Busy that are out of qualifying 2, and the top 10 will take their shootout into qualifying 3, and that will set the position for the grid. Oh, Jamie.
Yes.
On the Alpine page, that's the season opener spec livery.
Wait, so the first race of the season?
Yes. So
they're racing all of it pink then in the first race of the season?
I think so. No, the spec opener. Yeah, I don't know.
So we'll see the return of Force India.
Yeah, it is a wet qualifying 3, which was kind of expected, but anything could have changed.
Look at that, it's quite heavy as well. It's different on the intermediates, but will they get heavier for the wet conditions? I think majority of the drivers are exiting the pit lane just to get their opening flying laps in, because it's been a mixture for these drivers. These drivers having to do wet and dry, just putting their focus elsewhere and having to put their focus back on the wet. So yeah, a lot of drivers have been put to the test to see who can manage it well. I constantly had to adjust the setup slightly. I know you can only do a few things like change the front wing and tyre pressures, etc. and all that, but we'll see who's got the best setup for the wet then and what setup they've got during the race, because that could be pivotal towards their race.
Yeah.
But yeah, the first man that's going to be on a lap is a Williams of Norwich, sorry. Norwich fan is right behind him. Yeah, we'll see what he does in that Williams and how he'll tackle it through these conditions. Will he struggle? Who was the quickest? Oh, he spins on his outlap. Does it hit the wall? I know a few people have spun there before and hit the wall, but thankfully he does not. I'm so glad he didn't hit the wall, because that would have been a massive shame. We'll put him out of sync compared to the others, but saying that though, Homo sapien has decided to stay in the pit lane, so we'll see what he does. All the conditions get heavier, or we have to transition over to the wet conditions, because if they do, Homo sapiens in the pit lane. So it's best to be out there on the track right now, being the first car, which is the Williams of Norwich fan. And our Hug should recover, and he's behind 2 Ferraris in the Alpha. And Norwich fan is about to take his way through a lap of China in the wet. So here he comes then as he makes his way towards the line. Let's see how he handles turn 1. Going to take out wide, going to let the engine do the braking into turn 1, breaking the 50-metre board. Let's see how he tackles it. Yeah, he's dabbing on the throttle and the brakes there. Staying in third gear, now down into second. Going into turn 2, this could be very difficult because say again, Pyro.
Who are you watching?
Norwich fan.
Oh.
Who are you watching?
Norwich fan.
So as we head into turn 6 then, let's see who takes it. Nice entry. Actually can be difficult, especially in the wet, but he manages it well out of turn 6. Now is this fast left-hander, not a flat out anymore because of the intermediates, but nice slide through there, and this one as well. Down into 4th gear we go. Experimenting with the throttle, bring it over to the right hand side and bring it back to the double left-hander. Be very careful right here. Don't want to lose the car here on the curb, which is very easy to do. Looks like the conditions are getting heavier as well, and the middle sector is a 59.1. Hits the apex nicely there, and this one here. Now this one, let's see how they experiment with the throttle, because you can see the throttle movement very different, and he gets on the throttle, back on the throttle he goes then, on the straight. No DRS of course because of these intermediate conditions, which activated right here, approaching 200 km an hour. Now, it's the heaviest braking zone we go. Let's see how he tackles this one, as he brakes for the 100-metre board. Down the second gear we go, hooks up to the apex nicely, gets on the curb, and gets on the back in the power immediately. And now makes its way towards the final corner then. See how it takes this one. This can be difficult, a bit hesitant on the entry there, but nice exit. And this lap time is going to be a 43.999, as next is the Ferrari still, I think. Yes. And interestingly, Homo sapien has just came out of the pit lane, so he finally joins the rest of the 9 drivers as Pador goes quickest by 900s. So good job there for Pador to stick it on provisional. Kai in P4, and next across the line will be the McLaren of IDZ CK9, as IDZ then makes his way towards the final corner. Loses the back end just a bit, but makes his way towards the line. It's 5th place with a 44.9, so you can see bigger gaps what we saw to Q2 and Q1 because of the wet conditions separated the times a bit. And Eric Embrick Boss goes quickest with a 43.2, so he absolutely smashes it at the top of the pecking order there.
Nice silence. Anyways, I'll step in now for a bit, I guess. Let's see, I hug one of the faster drivers, I guess. But we see him now coming through turn 12. Very, very soft in the exit, obviously, because it is intermediate and wet conditions. Go through turn 13 now. Wants to get the best exit. Now goes full throttle. Doesn't spin the car. Very nice. No stamp of oversteer that we can see. Now there's no DRS, obviously, because it's a bit wet. Now coming into the biggest braking point, brakes at the 50-metre board. Hits the apex nicely, wants to get the best exit possible, doesn't short shift upwards, but this final corner, very, very tricky corner, once again, It hits the yellow curb turning with left wheel. But I don't know what lap time this is going to be. It's going to be a 1:44.2, a full second off Embrick Boss, who has just absolutely smashed the lap times by a long, long mile.
Homo sapien decides to come back in the pit lane, so he didn't even set a lap time either. So I wonder what he's doing down the P9. Client Boss is in P10 in the pit lane. Yeah, a lot of drivers go for the second lap because doing the second lap on these conditions is much better than the first lap because tyres will stick to the ground a little bit more. Yeah, it's unlike the soft compound tyres or the dry tyres, in fact, go for consecutive lap tyres because it doesn't even overheat as much. It actually grips in better than your first lap in the wet conditions, wet and intermediate. It's pallet per door, a few hundreds off in that middle sector as he double locks the brakes, but it still makes the apex. So he's found a lot of time at that sector if he wants to get close towards Embrick Boss's time. He's got a car ahead of him, which is an Alpine, I think. It was a Williams on the orange fan who gets out of the way. He gets a bit of a slipstream. Thankfully, he didn't crash into him. And now he makes his way towards the. Oh no, he ran out of fuel. He ran out of fuel to Pallipador, but thankfully it was up the last sector. Otherwise, he would have to go the hardest track.
Alexander Berg, I'm guessing, is Homo sapien. Next lap invalidated after I left space and they had to exit the pits. So this next lap invalidated for leaving space at the pits for the drivers.
Kai! He's hit the pit lane. Oh, he did the Lewis Hamilton. He has hit the pit lane with he has hit the outside barrier in the pit lane.
Everyone, well, that's two victims now of the trying the pit lane. I wonder if it is wet in the race.
I hope not.
It'd be fun entertainment, but not very fun for the drivers.
Yeah, they're a big deal. They're a big trade because it's so hard to keep close to somebody else, especially in these conditions as well in the wet. There's no DRS on that back straight either. So if you want to overtake your rival, you best hope they make a mistake, or you get as very close to them on that back straight and try and get them down as the hairpin. But otherwise, I think most of the action will be on lap one, where a lot of drivers will be jockeying for position and struggling around those.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of spins on lap one. Well, we won't know yet until we see.
Homo sapiens out there on our lap, so is Client Boss and Snell, who's just joined them, so we'll see how Homo sapien. I wonder if he had damage on that lap as well, because you usually fuel the car for more than one or two laps, especially in these conditions as well, so I wonder if he picked up a bit of damage on his previous lap and had to come back a bit late because I just saw him go for a consecutive lap time. But here he is again, 2 minutes and 50 seconds on the clock. He hasn't got many laps in like other people, so he'll be a bit vulnerable there in P9 and P10 for Client Boss as well, who's just got off the track. Oh, he's letting somebody through, that was Snell. Majority of them on their outlaps, and we'll wait to see what happens in the last few minutes of qualifying. Can anybody take pole position away from Embrick Boss? 6/10 is the gap between first and second, so looking very comfortable at the top, but can anybody try to take that away from him?
I don't know, he is very, very... The gap is massive. But, if anyone can get closer to that, then fair play. But he's on 3 lap all intermediates now. Guessing he doesn't have another set. Well, he is going into the pits, as if there was gravel there, he would have been a bit stuck.
Homo sapien almost lost it at the final corner there, but he's about to start his first flying lap. I believe he should get 2 laps on the board if there is enough time. And now he makes his way towards the first corner then, going out wide but bringing it back in at turn 2. In fact, he doesn't really hook up the apex as he would have wanted, but finally brings it back in. Now coming into turn 2, you can see on the entry there, the wheel spin just kicking in for him as traction will be difficult in these conditions. In third gear, just hesitant with the throttle there. Oh, he's actually retired, and look, Homo sapien just almost went off the track there. 27.3 apparently first set, but I don't know if that's true or not.
Purple first, yeah.
Hits turn 6 very nice. He gets back on the throttle. You can see traction breaking there as he makes his way towards the fast right hander, going down into 6th gear, not going flat out, of course. You can't do it in these conditions. Now coming to the next corner, his right hander can be very difficult as well. It's very easy to spin out on that curb. Now he's going to suffer a bit of dirty here because there's a Ferrari just ahead of him now coming through the double left-hander. He goes in third gear, sliding through third gear as Leighton gets out of the way for Homo Sapien, and his middle sector is a 58.7, so he's way towards the slow speed corners there. This is going to be very difficult. Say that again, Pyro.
It's another purple sector, it looks like, on the game, but
we'll see how he does then. This looks like to be a good lap. You can see him just lose it there on that downhill section there. 35 seconds left to go, so he might get a second lap in just in case he wants it. The tyres should be good, should have enough fuel on board to go for that second lap as well. But he makes his way into the heaviest braking zones, they're braking at the 100-metre board. See if he locks the front tyres. No, he doesn't. Makes it very nicely there. Double shifted immediately on the exit, but loses the car slightly. As you can see, massive wheel spin there for Homo Sapien as he makes his way towards the final corner. The apex on the entry, and let's see what lap time it is. It's going to be a 43.4. That's second place.
P2.
That's a fantastic lap time for his first flying lap officially.
Yep. He might go for another one here, you don't know. He has enough ERS. Does he have enough fuel though?
It looks like he does. There's no flashing light on the car, so he should be safe with the fuel.
Look, I don't know, I can't tell if he is or not, but he loses the car a lot. Let's have a look at his first sector. If he is, he could be down. Oh, he's a 10th up. He's a 10th up.
Can
this
man
could be pole position.
pole?
This could be pole position. He's a 10th and a half up, around about. Maybe not now, but we'll see when it comes to the split. 3 turn 9, now 2 turn 10. He gets a nice egg. He misses the apex on turn 10 and loses the car. Saves it a tiny bit, but yeah, he's now 600ths down. He's going to be really not happy about that, but can he make up time in the final sector?
I think he can because of that. He had a moment here, downhill section, and he had a moment.
Well, he's invalidated it. That's it.
Doesn't matter. It does not matter.
Tali Pader is 400ths down. It looks like, but he could have could be now massive lock up into braking zone of turn 14 now. Turn 15. Turn 15 is just a myth of the corner. No one knows it. Now turn 16, lock up again. Good exit. Don't want to invalidate. It's a 143.409. He goes second place in front of Homo Sapien. That is a very, very good lap from Pally, as Leighton is the final one to cross the line, who has invalidated his lap time. And that is qualifying 3 over. Embrick Boss takes his first pole position. Oh, Leighton's hit the wall. And DNF'd.
I should have.
He's completely hit. He's just gone straight into the wall.
Yeah, I still got turn 15 Pyro.
Turn
Can be a
15 is a
difficult
miss.
corner.
Yeah, turn 15 is such a difficult corner.
That's the corner before turn 16, isn't it?
Yeah. No, turn 14 is the hairpin, and there's turn 15, which is just like a 2-inch right-hander. Right. Alright, but there's the qualifying results. Embrick Boss takes his first pole position, with Pally Pudder in second place, Homo Sapien third, Kleiner Bossi in fourth, Kai in P5, Norwich Fan 6th, Snell in 7th, Ahug in 8th, IDZ in 9th, and SBS, who DNF'd the final bit, so we did caught on stream at Leighton, so you can watch that back, is in P10. And we'll see if it is raining in the race, because well, we've got absolutely no clue. But yeah. Oh, so the start is going to be absolutely hectic. People are going to side by side through turn 1, turn 2, turn 3, and turn 4. Maybe a couple spins, people not leaving space. Yeah, Karem, Norwich Fan 6. He's 6th. Sixth. I didn't ask for your opinion, Karim.
Sorry.
But it's raining at the start apparently, then it goes to dry.
So people who got through on the medium compound tires. I don't know. It depends if they can start, because you've seen conditions before where it is wet, but people start on the dry tires. It can do that sometimes, so you never know. If that does happen, the soft tire people who start on the soft tires will have a benefit because of the grippier, softer tires, which is more malleable and gets temperature quicker into the tires as well in the carcass. But medium compound tires, they'll be struggling just a bit. It might take a few laps or to get into the temperature window ready for the race, but we're about to see that as we get to see all 19 drivers lined up on the grid, and we'll see what tyres are on. If they're all on intermediate, so that tyre rule will not be counted, because people who start on the wet tyres don't specifically have to use more than one tyre compound in the dry, because that counts out that rule.
But yeah, you can do an intermediate to hard, and you can finish the rest.
Exactly.
Because the intermediate starts is a compound, so we've got a few Je suis fans in the
Je suis anglais. Both Alfa Romeos in P2 and P4 looking good. Homo sapien in P3, that's Alexander Berg, sorry, in P3.
Yes. And Hughes Connor's hoping for a Klein win, starting P4. But we'll see this hectic turn 1, turn 2. But we'll see how everybody does in the traction at the start.
Yeah, I wonder how people are feeling that they put on mediums in Q2 because they realise they don't
get
have
through
to.
because of it.
Yeah.
Why would they do mediums in Q2 if it's going to rain at the start of the race? Because they knew. They knew it was going to rain at the start of the race. I don't know why they were going mediums.
I don't know, maybe they didn't read the weather radar properly. Maybe they saw dry but they didn't realise it would rain at the start. They was probably hoping for dry, then they become wet. You never know, because I don't know, it depends if they actually looked at the weather radar, because I know I didn't look. I know I wouldn't have looked at it properly, because sometimes I flick through and just see if it's dry or wet, but you never know.
But yeah, we'll see now how people get on and start.
So what's your predictions then for this race? Who do you think's gonna win?
I'm not gonna give a prediction because I got no clue. You can't predict a race.
You can if it was 2020.
Unless it's 2020 Hamilton, yeah.
Our game is left, and he is in P13, so he needs to get back in as quickly as possible before he finds himself down at P19 where China Wani is. But all the drivers are making their way to the grid.
Yes, they are. And we'll see. Do we see burnouts in the way? I want to see a couple of burnouts. Burnout? No, I don't know why the AIs don't do burnouts in the wet. Pretty disappointing that. But we'll see the start now. I don't think anyone's jumped positions or anything, but so everyone is correct positions. Obviously, this game is just terrible for glitches. But we'll see China Wani taking his final grid spot. And the lights will be going out in less than 20 seconds. And here we go then. Waiting for Ahod to come in, and here we go. It is 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And it is lights out, and away we go. Pally gets an absolutely amazing start on Embrick. Looks like Embrick didn't have traction. Homo sapien also behind him. Pally trying to go down the inside of Homo sapien. We'll see the middle of the grid now. As Homo sapien tries to go around the outside. We'll see all this carnage unfold in the back. A lot of contact and wheel-to-wheel banging. Going through turn 3, now turn 5, and people going wide. No spins at the moment. And I'll see everyone going side by side into turn 5, now turn 6. Palipada still in the lead. Homo sapien Klein on the inside of Norwich. Norwich trying to go around the outside of everyone. There's some dive bombs, and there is a collision, and not a spin, but just really slow drivers. I think they've made contact through a lot, as Kai is now dropping down to the back of the field. I don't know if they're damaged. Doesn't have damage, I don't think. As there is his first spin. Busy is the first spin of this race. Leighton trying to defend the positions, but loses one from China. China making his way through the field from P19. We'll see the positions now. As Cross Liam makes 6 positions off the start, same with China Winer. It looks to be a clean start as of now, as Pally takes his 6/10 lead, as I think that is Leighton dropping down positions. Don't know if he has damage or not, but he's losing positions quite a lot. As we'll see all this side-by-side action now going through the straight. Yeah, Toxic, Jesui and China going side-by-side into turn 14. Jesui maybe looking for the switchback.
Look, there's contact in the midfield and the Alfa
Oh,
Aston
no.
Martin, Ferrari and Mercedes. The Ferrari absolutely sent it down the inside, and going 3 into 1 does not work, and Leighton gains 2 positions despite him taking out.
And Toxic Jesui, one of the favourites, has taken damage. And he's into the pits, same with Leighton. That was quite obvious. We'll see at the front of the field now. I don't think anything's going on yet. Red Bull and the Mercedes going side by side. Not the first time we've seen that this year. But the Mercedes keeps position.
That's the spinner of Snell, who's dropped into 11th place. He's lost his front wing as well, so he must have hit the wall for sure. And the Red Bull goes down the inside of ID's head.
Snell needs to get out of the way of China, because this sector you don't want to get held up. So Snell, be respectful and get out of the way of China.
Turn 3 is such a difficult corner, especially here in the wet.
There we go.
Oh, Kai just hit the back of the Alpha Tower is getting a bit messy down there in P12. Aston Martin trying to go around the outside. He has done that. Busy and Raynock are next to try and get Snell, but Snell will be very slow in these corners with no downforce on the front car whatsoever. But I looked at Kai at the start of the race, and Kai had a massive time slapper off the start. He dropped down quite a few positions in P10 at turn 1, and he started losing positions ever since, so he's not really feeling confident. But he's currently in P12 now. Was down to P19 at one stage, but he's back up to P12, so let's see what he could do from there.
Well, the biggest position changes are obviously Snell dropping down positions, down 10 positions. Hack up 4, there's Liam up 8, as we see a... Yeah, side by side Aston Martin with Raynock. Raynock and Gamer going through turn 14 side by side. Raynock trying to stick it on the inside, but I think Gamer's going to get better traction. Yeah, on the outside you'll get better traction. There's a spin.
Oh, yes, it's Leighton.
As Snell almost hits the... Henry does have to cut the... Well, not cut it, but extend the track limits to keep out the wall without no wing damage. That's very unfortunate for him, but maybe that can get removed, you never know. Now the 2 Williams... Oh, no, never mind, not 2 Williams. That's Ahug and Norwich. Yeah, it's Mike and Ahug. Side by side, I think Mike did make that move quite nicely. Blue cars, I saw Williams and I thought it was 2 Williams for a second. But Liam making up 9 positions.
Off the track. He's got off the track Homo sapien, and that's Clyde Boss coming straight through to 3rd place.
Luckily it's not a spin for him, but it is a lost position and some lost time. But as you see, the top 4, the fastest drivers, obviously making that 2-second gap already on Norwich fan, who is in 5th place, the leading car that is not close to the top 4. Looks like Man United this season. We see Ham Sandwiches makes 7 positions. I saw he made like 9 and 10, I swear. He dropped a few positions down beforehand. But we got a little trade now from IDZ to as Ham Sandwiches go down the inside of the Red Bull. The Mercedes and Red Bull side by side once again, but he does make the move stick, and it's a very nice move on the hairpin of turn 14. Just cut that corner, that surely one. It might be a second one right there going wide. But it's a train from Norwich fan to IDZ, so it's a 10-5 battle as Kai sets the fastest lap of the race with a 1:45.9. It could dry up, so we'll see these strategies unfold as they come here. But it looks like a nice little train, a nice few battles going on with Mercedes, Williams, Alpine and McLaren and Red Bull battling out for P5. We'll see the dive bombs going into turn 6. No, we won't. No one's close enough to make any moves, especially in the wet conditions. Any more battles going on that we don't know about? Just the top 4 train, then the 5 to 10 train. Not really much else going on besides the top 5 and top 10. But that is where the points are, and that is where they get scored. But IDZ, I think, is in one of the worst positions because, well, you can't really overtake, and everyone's got slipstream. As Ham Sandwiches and R-Hug going side by side, they make contact on the rear wheels and front wheels. As Liam's going to take advantage of all of that and make up 2 positions in 2 corners. But I think he'll be on the disadvantage now on the straight with no slipstream. Everyone's using ERS tracking positions. We're going to go 3 wide into turn 14. Liam going around the outside, Ham Sandwich on the inside, cutting the corner massively, and R-Hug losing out, but the Red Bull gets the mighty traction on the outside on the exit. But it's still R-Hug and I'm gonna say Leo from now on. I cannot be arsed say Ham Sandwiches every time. R-Hug and Leo still battling out as here comes Ronnie. Ronnie on the inside, not being able to stick the move or do anything about it. Still has to sit back in at 10th place, but it's a very, very good move from Liam. And a great 3 wide into turn 14. That is brilliant racing. As you see Ben say, Liam is amazing in the wet. So let's see that unfold then, as Mike is trying to make the overtake on Norwich. As Leo is a bit wiggly on the exit, but Ronnie is going to try to go around the outside of R-Hug. We'll not be able to get the move. Okay, Jamie, I've done 5 laps now. Can you take over? Jamie. Where's my co-commentator gone? He seems to have disappeared, so we'll keep with this top 5 battle. This top 4 not really making any moves, just sticking in this little train, no DRS, almost safe until I catch up to Klein again. But I think this is Mike's chance on the straight with DRS activated, ERS activated. Same with Norwich. They're gonna go side by side through turn 14. Norwich goes to the outside. Mike on the inside. Norwich maybe go for a switchback. No, he's gonna stick around the outside. Gets pushed off track a bit. Will Liam take advantage of another collision? Another push off the track. No, we'll not be able to. No traction, no exit. Actually, he has got traction and has got the exit on Norwich. We'll try to go around the outside. Norwich does cover it off nicely and will not be able to make a move. But Mike didn't make the move on Norwich on turn 14, but there goes Liam. Liam on the inside, a bit of contact. Norwich not leaving enough space. But luckily no one spinning out there. As Ronnie also just sitting behind R-Hug and Leo. Leo not being able to keep up with Liam, Norwich and Mike that well as he was before. As Liam will not send it down the inside, looks for a move but cannot go for it. Too far back. But this is Mike's chance to try pull away from Norwich, as he is in the clean air now. 7 seconds behind the top 4. And 8 seconds behind a podium position. But we'll stick to this battle with Liam trying to make the overtakes on Norwich. And he does get the exit, but has to lift off a bit. We'll see the everything now, the ERS. It's quite easy. I think it's quite easy to save ERS around this, especially in the wet conditions. I think it is for any track mostly. We'll leave us on 60%, 70%. Has to lift off massively because Norwich is going to get the best exit from the outside. Doesn't want to go off the track and into the curb. But I think Liam's got way more straight line speed and will go to the inside for turn 14 as they're now fully side by side. Liam makes the overtake. Norwich on the outside again. We'll try go for a switchback this time. He does, and he does complete it. That is a very, very nice switchback. But here comes back on Liam. Liam down the inside at turn 16. Norwich trying to go for another switchback, but cannot go for it. As Norwich is now out of ERS absolutely completely. But Norwich on the inside once again. This is brilliant side-by-side racing from Liam and Norwich. Going through turn 1, now turn 2. Liam's going to try to stick it around the outside. He will, but will not be able to as Norwich cuts off the inside line for turn 3 and turn 4. But Liam's going to look for the traction. Norwich a bit wiggly on the exit. Not getting much traction. Liam also loses the car. So he won't be able to make a move at all in this next sector. As Norwich fans a bit disconnected there. Looks like Leo. Ahug has caught back up, but Ahug goes nearly off the track. Saves it nicely but loses positions. As Kai is actually making a lot of positions. Didn't realise that. The charge from Kai is back on. As he overtook Ronnie and now Ahug. But now he will join this battle between Leo, Liam, Norwich and Mike. No, Mike has actually gone off ahead. But it's between these 5 right now. As DRS has been enabled, I didn't realise, but it has stopped raining in the race, but DRS has now been enabled, so will Liam be able to make an overtake? I think people might want to box to something now, but the crossover might be quick, it might not be quick. No one knows how quickly the crossover will be to the slick tyres. We'll see now as Kai, right on the back of Leo, not using any ERS whatsoever, but will go down the inside and nearly going to hit Liam, doesn't hit Liam. That's great control by Kai not to go into the side of the Red Bull or the rear of the Red Bull. But is anyone going to box? Mike goes into the pits. Norwich fan goes into the pits, so does Liam. Barely missing Norwich. As Leo tried to go down the inside of Liam in the pit lane, but was not able to make the move, almost nearly Sebastian Vettel-esque, but not at the right place. We are in China. As we see, Gamer stays out and takes the risk of, and so does Ahug. These guys are taking the risk of not boxing to the softs. Embrick goes to the softs. Klein goes to mediums. Homo Sapien goes to the hards. He's going towards the end of the race. And Klein goes to mediums. Pally on the mediums as well. Mike on the mediums. Norwich mediums. We'll see the tyre situation now for everyone. As everyone in the midfield and the top-ish has boxed besides Ahug and Gamer, which I don't know if that is the right choice. Yeah, my co-commentator has, I think, lagged out or has done something, but I've got no clue. Homo Sapiens made the right call. I think so. I don't think mediums will last these 20 laps. But it is, like I said, the intermediates have basically worked as a soft tyre for now, so the strategy is still technically an intermediate medium, but same again, you would technically be boxing from the softs. Well, here we go, Chinese, Norwich and Liam having a little battle going through turn 13. But DRS is enabled, so Norwich and Liam. Norwich have DRS and Liam, really? No, but is Chinese Whiny Norwich going side by side now? Through to turn 14, and Chinese on the inside of Norwich. Norwich will go for another switchback. No, he backs out of it. Will not go for anything, and no traction on the exit as well. As Game and Ahug into the pits, Embrick has been promoted to P1 on the soft, so he will have to make a gap to behind, because he has to box again. There's no way softs make it to the end. Maybe not even mediums make it to the end. We won't know unless there's a safety car, or unless someone gets a puncture. IDZ also on the softs. We'll see the tyre situation here. But there's nothing really going on at the moment. Just a few drivers. But China is now on the charge towards Cross Liam. Oh yeah. Pally did take a little spin and as now in P10, I'm guessing the wet condition on the mediums didn't work out well for him, especially on the mediums. But now he will try overtake Ronnie and try to get back into the top. As Gamer is disqualified. I'm guessing he had a little spin, but he's been disqualified for parts in dangerous location. I don't think that will bring out a safety car, but Ahug penalty and Snell only one's a penalty, so people have been keeping it on track quite nicely. As Pallet as DRS on IDZ, but will move up. Kai has no DRS, but Ronnie will not go down the inside. Sensible decision there not to go for it. Oh no, he has gone for it. I guess Kai, I don't know what happened to Kai. I think he missed the braking point. But Ronnie goes out wide, but no more DRS and picks up a 3-second time penalty. And also he's on yellow fuel. I don't think his fuel, I think he underestimated how much fuel he would lose in the wet condition, but it looks like he hasn't actually got a lot left. So he's going to have to manage that a lot. Cross Liam trying to make his way up to Mike, Homo Sapien just in no man's land, so is Klein. But Embrick is actually making that gap as he locks up massively going into turn 8 and goes off track at turn 9. That's a 3-second time penalty for going off track. That has lost him a lot of time to climb behind. All that soft. Yeah. As Kai has taken a spin. That is not good for Kai, and the exit of turn 3. Yeah, turn 3 as needs together with Chinese Wine it. No, that's Reynick over Alpatari. Actually, Chinese Wine has caught up to Liam, and Liam has caught up to Michael, so these two are on the DRS train now. Ronnie gonna try and make an overtake on Norwich. Yeah. Ronnie is on the very fresh softs tyre. 1 lap soft, and he will make the overtake very, very easily. And Norwich trying to defend with the DRS, but Ronnie will easily make the overtake as Norwich tries to stick around the outside. Maybe go for a switchback. No, he will not. He's going to get the exit on the outside as Ronnie loses the car a lot. No traction on the softs. That's not for something you see a lot. But I think that is a warning for IDZ there. As here we see Liam didn't make the overtake on Mike on the straight, so I'm guessing he's going to do ERS. Mike on 30%, so is China. Liam on 55% around about. But Mike snapping the car a bit, trying to save the car. But if we do see a safety car, then the soft tyre will be quite happy. But here's a 3-second time penalty. Homo Sapien will definitely make it to the end. The mediums are an if. The softs are, well, they're not making it to the end whatsoever. But looks like Chinese softs are not doing him too well. He's not been able to keep up with Liam and Mike in this middle sector. Maybe Dirty, yeah, definitely a massive part in this. As Toxic Jesui goes into the pits and does get a 5-second time penalty. As Pallet and Norwich go side by side into turn 11. No contact, luckily. Pallet will try to go for a switchback on the exit. Don't think anything will happen there, but we'll get DRS as Liam makes his overtake on Mike. And also, will Chinese make an overtake on Mike? Both using ERS. Chinese in the zone. Mike moves off to the right, nearly pushes him off track. But it is perfect car placement by Mike, but Chinese trying to get a good exit, but not able to. As Mike keeps the position. It's very good car placement by Mike moving off to the right, but nearly pushing him off track, just enough space. Left hand side, there's a spin. There's yellow flag, I'm guessing it is late, and I had a little bit of a spin, but saved the car, not into the wall. Busy sets the fastest lap on the mediums, 1:37.4. There goes Kai, 1:37.0, as he did spin back into P13. After that charge, he went on into P8. But it's Busy, Arhug and Leo right now in the little train. Busy wants to make the overtake as soon as possible, maybe trying to go around the outside. Leo went really defensive. I don't think Busy was close enough to make a dive bomb, but not at the rear axle enough to go around the outside, or is he? No, he has to lift off from that corner. But Homo Sapien he's going to be relaxed right now. He has on the hards. He's the only one on hards besides Hack and Leighton, but they are way long back behind. Homo Sapien is in a very good position to also catch up to the mediums when the mediums die out and the hards go into that period when they are way faster than any other tyre that they'll be. But now it is Norwich has DRS on Ronnie. He could go for the move. Ronnie goes defensive. Cannot switch again, otherwise it is a double move. Norwich going to round the outside. Doesn't go off track. Hits the curb, but I think we get a good exit. Ronnie does get the better exit on the inside, so no move will happen as of now. But Ronnie loses the car, but Norwich gets a better exit. DRS again, using so much ERS, both on non-flashing lights, and Norwich will easily make it round the outside. Pally will try and make a move now on the inside. He does go for it. He's off his line a lot, but goes back to the inside line. Outside line now. Ronnie trying to get a good exit. Pally will get the better exit on the outside as there's more traction, and does get the move done. Now it is Pally going to try to overtake Norwich. Looks like IDZ's soft tyres are not doing him too well now, so they are going to die out from this quite a high tyre wear track, especially for the soft tyre. But Chiny Winey seems to be okay as of now. 2 laps more older than IDZ, sticking with Mike. Just under 9/10. Wants to keep it for the DRS so he can just stay and gain more time to Homo sapien on the hard tyre behind. There's really anything else going on as of now. Everyone's really split up in their own little race. It's just Norwich, Pally and IDZ and the DRS tray right now. 3 of them as we catch it perfectly. IDZ has taken a spin on the exit of turn 13. The soft tyre seems to not doing him well. But he saves the car, not putting it into wall, has to get out of the way. Makes Kai go a bit off track. But Ronnie does have DRS and Kai doesn't. Will Ronnie go down the inside? He will not. Oh, yeah, he does. Never mind. I think he's a bit frustrated after the spin, but just doesn't hit Kai, thankfully. No one spins out. There is a spin, and that is Leighton on the hard tyre on the exit of turn 8. That corner is very tricky, especially for like this hard tyre anyways. But I think that's a third spin, or a second or third spin for Leighton, as he's down in P17. As IDZ goes into the pits for the medium tyre, as he does not think the soft tyre is good enough right now. Same with Pally, into the pits to the mediums, maybe go for an undercut. On everyone else, obviously, wants to get as much time as possible on them fresh mediums to the end of the race. Maybe hope for a safety car once everyone boxes. With Chiny been able to keep on these softs, but has lost a lot of time to Homo sapien. Homo sapien will not go down the inside. He will wait for the DRS on the exit of turn 13 and will go for the move in on the straight or even into turn 14, depending on how Chiny defends this position with ERS or not. But Sapien on 60% more ERS. We'll start using it now. We'll get the DRS now. Maybe turn off the ERS, save a bit more after this overtake as Chiny starts flashing. And Sapien is probably one of his easiest moves to do. So now it's on Embrick to try keep this, as Klein is now the fastest man on track, 135.4. As he's going to try catch up to Embrick so Embrick doesn't get an undercut. Maybe later on if Klein does have to box, if his mediums get too much, as Chiny heads into the pits for his soft tyre and to change onto the medium. Yeah, another set of softs, but I don't think we'll make it to the end. Yeah, medium tyre goes on, and out of the pits he goes in a few moments. So it's as of now it's just a few drivers in their own little race, not in a DRS train, a lot of them. It's just Sapien now trying to catch up to Mike, where hopefully his hards are now going to come into play with the tyre wear kicking in now. Looks like Klein is definitely gaining to Embrick Boss, as now the gap is under 5 seconds for the first time in quite a while. There's a spin of Snell as he retired. He has retired, but is that a crash or is that a retirement manually? I do not know, but it is hack on Ronnie right now. Yeah, it is a manual retirement from Snell. I don't know what happened there. I've got wing damage from a spin. Really, really unfortunate for Snell. Nothing much going on as Embrick goes into the pits on his softs, and again a soft tyre change will probably not work. yeah, medium go on for the rest of the 12 laps. He'll be racing. He'll drop down to, I think, yep, P6. I think that'll be it. He will get in front of Leo. But now it is his comeback now to get back into the podium position. But we still have to see if these medium runners do have to box. If mediums can go 20 laps, we'll have to wait and see. But Sapien is a very comfortable position right now, as the tyres will start kicking in. Kylie Pudder now changes to the fastest man on track. 34.6 fastest lap so far. There's still nothing going on really at the back of the grid besides Hack and Ronnie, but not changing positions. Ronnie on 5% ERS. Now we'll probably go to 0. But Hack will try overtake him as soon as possible. We'll see Embrick now just on the back of Norwich. Will definitely overtake him on the straight going into turn 14. Ahug gets his 3-second time penalty. And that's another one actually. It is the second track limit, so Embrick has 6 seconds as well. As he almost spins the car, he was spun. It is Leighton again. Loses the car on exit. We'll see back now, Embrick and Norwich. Embrick goes for the outside, Norwich for the inside. Let's see if Embrick will get the better traction. He does. So much more traction on 7 lap fresher tyres, especially on the outside. It's a brilliant move by Embrick. Norwich trying to keep the position, but Norwich will use his ERS once again. Maybe try go around the outside on turn 1. He does, but he switches to the inside. It's a beautiful switch back by Norwich. Embrick going deep into turn 1, trying to cover off anything from the outside, but Norwich just switches to the inside and gets that move done. That is a very, very good move by Norwich. But Embrick will try have a go back at him with his ERS advantage. Norwich will defend the inside, and Embrick goes round the outside, maybe go for a switchback. No, Norwich defends well, and it is very good positioning on the defence. We'll keep this battle as Embrick now goes down the inside on turn 8, leaving a lot of space for each other. This is side by side racing as Norwich goes off track. No, Embrick goes off track and keeps the position with the exit from the outside. Norwich has to back out, but Norwich will now get the DRS again as Chiney overtakes Alhug. I think Alhug went for a little spin on turn 7 or turn 8. We'll go back to Norwich and Embrick, as Embrick has pulled a tiny bit of a gap on the exit of turn 12 and 13. Norwich on no ERS, but has the DRS and the slipstream right now. Is that another spin for Leighton again? That is his 4th spin that I've seen so far. It's not having a good race for him at the moment, as Norwich was not able to catch up to Embrick on the straight, as Embrick now with the 8 lap pressure tyres, 7 lap pressure tyres. Yeah, it is 8 laps. We'll just have to try pull away as he's the fastest person in sector 3. As Klein is just pulling a gap to everyone. The yellow flag in sector 3. Looks like Leighton went for another spin. Yep. There's nothing much going on actually. Sapien has caught up to Mike at the moment, but has not been able to overtake him yet. Embrick does have a 6th time penalty, so if Norwich can keep within that 6 seconds, he will get his position obviously, but fresher tyres on this track is such a massive advantage that he has to take on. But Sapien needs to get a good few exits on this sector 3. That's Mike going a bit wide, snapping the car a tiny bit, trying to save it. And I think another sector 3 yellow flag, that's another Ferrari. It is Leighton again. We'll go back to Sapien and Mike, as Sapien now goes on the outside, on the racing line. Mike will send it once again. Made a bit of contact. No pushing off track though. It's a defence by Mike. And now Sapien will go on the inside. A bit of contact again. That would be a warning for Sapien on track limits. But yeah, he is the one with DRS, so he will keep the position as of now. As Embrick turns to the fastest guy on track, as that is a retirement for Leighton in the pits after 5 spins. going back to Ferrari 2020. As Leo, Kai and Leo going side by side. He's reset the track, and I have caught you resetting to track. So that will be, yeah, that's unfortunate. I think going side by side. I think he hit the inside curb, or there was a bit of contact with Kai. I don't know. I was on Kai's POV. So we'll see that on a report, but he has reset to track, and that is a penalty. As Mike not being able to keep up with Sapien. It looks like the hards are now faster than the medium tyre with 7 laps to go. No, not 7 laps, 9 laps to go. And now we have to wait and see if Klein and Liam can make it to the end of these mediums. I'm pretty sure they can with 19 laps. But Embrick has pulled a forcing gap to Norwich and will probably pull that gap to more than 6 seconds by the end of this race. I don't see really any close gaps actually. Pallet will probably overtake Raynerk on here. No, he goes wide. Maybe he picks up a warning, we don't know. But Raynerk just not using ARS, just casually going down the straight, and will get overtaken by Pallet going into turn 14, switches to the outside. Raynerk positioning his car in the middle. As Raynerk does let him go. I'm guessing Raynerk knows that he will not be able to do anything, especially on 6 lap older tyres. Now all these mediums going up to the 11 lap mark. Which, they're not going to start feeling good anytime soon. As you see, Hack and Ronnie still battling it out. As we went to them earlier, we went away from them. But still no overtakes. Oh, Ronnie does have a spin and Hack is forced wide to try and avoid him, but Gusting's on, so there's no need to worry. What's that? I think that was a reset to track again for Ronnie, but I'll back him and say there's no need. Raynerk has now lost the gap to Pallet. Pallet is now gaining on Hug and will get the DRS on the straight. And that is Mike overtaking Sapien again. They're going side by side through the final corner. But Mike will get the DRS, and here we go. They're going to go side by side through turn 1 again. I think Mike is just going to get that overtake done, and Sapien's going to back out and go for it later on, but that is the battle. As China, I think that was a switch back on Leo. Leo down the inside. I heard a bit of contact as Ronnie gets 10-second time penalty for cutting the corner. I don't know what happened there. Will Pally go for an overtake into turn 1? On Ahug, goes for the outside. Ahug on the inside. But Pally gets the outside move done. It's like another spin for Ronnie and probably will get damage on his car. That is really, really unfortunate. But we see Chiny and Leo still batting it out. Ahug has now lost time, a lot of time to Pally. Pally will gain that time back as he's the fastest man in sector 1. As there's 7 laps to go. Sapien still yet. What happened to Liam? Mike has overtaken Liam and will not get DRS as well. So Sapien is also going to overtake Liam, as is a retirement in the pit lane. Yeah, he's in the pit lane. Sapien did not get the overtake on Liam. I believe no ERS either. Chiny makes the overtake on sandwiches. Leo has spun around on the exit of turn 12, and that is why Chiny's been brought into P9 before the straight. So Leo has had a few spins this race. Really, really unlucky. As Liam has also... Has Liam got damage? Liam has damage. He does. He's got no wing. Liam has 0 wing. Full red wing. I don't know what happened there. Was it contact between Sapien or Mike? But look at Embrick now. Also look at Klein, 12 seconds ahead. And is quite comfortable as Leo does retire. I don't know where. But Embrick has caught up to Sapien and Mike and is on for that P2, or definitely a podium. As Mike's tyres will start to crumble and die out very, very, very soon. As also Sapien's on yellow fuel, so is Embrick, so is Liam, and Raynerd. But I don't think we'll see anything here. Sapien will probably might get the move done on Mike, but Mike gets a very, very good exit out of the corner. Sapien 5 tenths back, Embrick 6 tenths back, 7 tenths back. Sapien closing in very, very quick. Is it going to be enough? No, he's going to lift off the exit. Just about avoids. As Kai's retired. Kai has spun off at turn 13. And that is a safety car. The first safety car of the race with 6 laps left to go. As Sapien's also spun out. Lap 22, a lot of drama is happening right now. Sapien has spun out. As he will also box to the softs. Norwich will box to the softs. Liam will box to the softs. So will Busy will box to the softs. Will trying it. Oh, Klein missed the pits. He's gonna have to stay out, and well, maybe not. He might be able to go to the pits. Actually, he should be able to. He should be able to go into the pits and maybe keep the position. But now everyone is coming to the pits. Haas are double stacking. Busy has a double stack behind Sapien. Look, Klein. Connor, don't say no Klein just yet. Everyone's still got the delta. Mike is allowed to overtake the safety car. Klein is 37 seconds in front. He should be fine. Klein could box the softs right now and still be in front, surely. No one's going to lose any time. Klein can get on them fresh softs and back in front of the safety car. But now every single person will be on fresh softs. As Hack takes his pit stop and goes out the pits now. Penalty situation, I think Emmerich's still on 6 and Ahog's still on 6 as well, but it's up to Klein now. Will he go for track position? Well, I think he should be track position anyways. He can full speed into the pits now, Klein. Off he goes. And we'll see, Mike is just exiting turn 13, still has the delta though. He does, he's braking. He still has the delta, as 12 seconds came from Embrick somehow. But Sapien did spin out and has lost track position to Norwich. Yeah, Klein has boxed. And he will easily come out in first place with the fresh pair of softs. Technically 1 lap older softs, but I think the percentage is very, very low to difference. But yeah, that has helped Klein a lot as he was on the old mediums. I think the only person that hasn't helped is Sapien, as he was on a hard tyre, and the mediums would have died out very, very easily compared to his hards. But now it's going to be, it looks like, I think it will. I don't think it will not come in this lap, as there's a Mercedes at the straight and in turn 14 right now. So it's going to be we might not even get DRS. We might get DRS in the final lap, depending on how fast Hack catches up to the rest of the field, as everyone else is a bit bunched up. But now it is just it is raw pace now. We might not get DRS, but it is going to be 2 or 3 laps of pure qualifying pace laps. That is what everyone needs right now. And everyone to overtake, as this hasn't helped Embrick as well with his 6 in time penalty. I don't think he isn't in for the win. I think Embrick's chances of winning right now are very, very high. Klein has a very, very good chance of winning, obviously in first place, and his pace has been outstanding this race. But we'll have to wait and see. Safety car in this lap. What? Michael Massey, is that you? What's just happened? Why is there safety car in this lap? Oh yeah. Oh, it's because Mercedes isn't there. Yeah, Michael Massey's still a race director. Why is it in this lap? As Klein's going to set off now. Hasn't given Mike the best of chances. The Alpines are right behind each other. Norwich fan and then Williams is just behind them. As Embrick Boss is trying to get as much time as possible into the 6 seconds. As Sapien's trying to make moves. Chinese trying to make moves. Round the outside he goes. But, I don't know what's happened with the game there, with the safety car being in this lap, but we've gone racing again. We will get DRS on the final lap, or maybe the final 2 laps, as China goes down the inside of Sapien, and they will go side by side through turn 7. Alpine's battling out as well together. They don't want to hold each other up or even crash into each other. As there goes Sapien down the inside of Mike, side by side now. Sapien gets the move done. Sapien absolutely making moves. Obviously, probably the fastest driver on track right now. Maybe Klein. Klein has got a really, really good restart on Embrick and Norwich, and everyone else as well. I think we'll see the moves right now because there is no DRS. Everyone's just got Slipstream on their own ERS. Mike having to sit out, Sapien placing the car nicely in the middle of the hairpin. But Embrick Boss wants to make as many positions as possible as Klein sets the fastest time of the race after his safety car restart. But Embrick has caught up 2 tenths since we last looked at them. As Palipud trying to get past China. There is a spin. There was a yellow flag at Hack. I think he did have a little maybe traction moment and a little spin. Didn't see much of it, obviously. Looking at the front of the grid right now, Pally goes round the outside of China, trying to win his, but China keeps the position and defended nicely. As Klein looks to be losing time. He's lost 4 tenths since the last lap. Maybe he's just saving a bit. With Sapien desperately going to try overtake Norwich fan for that final podium position, and also, oh no, he will get P2 because Embrick has a 6 in time penalty. And it's just a train from 3rd to 8th, ish. But we might see an overtake here now. Norwich not using ERS now, he is, but Sapien already has the advantage of the slipstream as well. Pulse to the outside. Norwich on the inside. He will stick it around the outside. Goes off track and not being able to get the exit because it is off track. Norwich fan keeps position on Sapien DK. And there goes DRS and Embrick Boss sets the fastest lap. 4 tenths behind Klein now. Maybe he's just trying to let off some pace and save his tyres for that last lap, and save his ERS for the last lap to get that fastest lap as well. Because Embrick does have that 6 second time penalty. I don't think he can get removed. It is track limits. As he gets another one, that is 9 seconds now. It is. So that is pretty much Embrick's chances of a podium over. But it is Sapien's chance to get that 2nd place over Norwich fan in these final laps as DRS is activated. So if he overtakes in this lap on that straight, he can use all his DRS on the final lap on that straight to keep the position and defend it. But it is the penultimate lap, and anything can happen right now. Klein could spin, anyone could spin. And there's just a little train going on. Also, everyone's got DRS now, so no one will be able to defend an overtake as well. Besides, Embrick might be able to overtake Klein. Sapien will definitely overtake Norwich fan this lap, with the DRS and the ERS advantage by about 40%. Yeah, no overtakes will happen as switches to the outside once again, side by side through turn 14. Another time Norwich fan tries to maybe squeeze him out wide, but Sapien does get the traction on exit and gets the really good move over and done with. As we go on to the final lap now, it is Klein for the win, as he is over 3 seconds in front of third place. And Norwich trying to stick his nose down the inside. Homo Sapien does give him enough space to try to do something, but Norwich fan will try to get the exit now. It is all to play for still with these Alpines and Haas and Williams. Also the overtakes trying to go from the back. No one has ERS besides Sapien. Sapien has said his ERS in his final couple laps and will be able to use it against Norwich on this final stretch. Norwich is really losing time against him. Sapien just on another pace right now. As everyone flashes lights. We might see some last lap desperate overtakes here. Dive bombs everywhere. I don't think we will see something here. As Pally gets a mighty exit against Shiny, but has to lift off because of that exit. Will go wide if he does. Oh yeah, he doesn't. Norwich doesn't have DRS. He does, no, he does. But Michael just has really good shot. Last speed didn't make contact and almost spin out. But Mike on the inside, Norwich on the outside, and they make a bit of contact once again. Norwich trying to fight the position desperately as Embrick Boss is now just hanging back. I don't know if he spun or not. But Kleiner Boss it. Sorry, I missed that. But Kleiner Boss it takes the checkered flag and wins the Tier 2 round 2 of the Chinese Grand Prix after just being on another level of pace, especially Sapien taking P2. These two here, Klein and Sapien, on another level of pace throughout the whole race and qualifying. But it was a great way to end it, but I am still confused with the safety car ending on that lap with Hack about 10 miles away. As the driver of the day from the game goes to Shiny Whiner. And that is the race over. Klein takes the checker flag, the Dutch driver, with Sapien P2 and DRS Mike in P3. That is your podium right there. As you see the celebrations happening now. I think a very good race to commentate, a very exciting race as it went from wet to dry. As I see Mike from 11th to 3rd, Mike Klein from 4th to 1st. But Shiny Whiny, I think that was the same as last week. It started from the back of the grid and comes to top 5, finished 5th. Busy 7th from 15th. Pally, not the best race from him starting P2, but I know he had a good pace throughout the race. That of P6. Norwich fan P4 from P6. And Embrick, unluckily, I don't know what happened on the final lap, but I think he spun out. But 9 seconds of penalties isn't the best thing to do. But he does take the fastest lap. And not scoring points are these bottom drivers outside the top 10. Very unlucky with Hack. The safety car starting when it shouldn't have. Ending on that lap. From P18 to P11, maybe it could have been higher. But that is it. I mean, DNFs, not great. From 19th to 12th have DNF'd. But I know this is a very difficult track to get used to and drive on. But, well, that'll be it, I guess. And I know Jamie wasn't able to co-commentate with me for the whole race, so you've had to listen to me. But that's it, I guess. So, well, I will see you again next week. I don't know who's commentating with me next week. But that has been Tier 2 of Round 2. So, I guess that is it. Alright, well, see you guys next